Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Tesla stock and what's going on with it. It's up almost 20% today alone, and it's been absolutely skyrocketing. We're talking about, a 100 plus move here, which is, almost never seen before when it comes to stocks of this size, right? This market cap. I actually made a price prediction video on Tesla just a few weeks ago, and it was at a $65 billion market cap. So the market cap more than doubled in, just 1 or 2 weeks, right? Which is absolutely crazy. Now, I've seen a bunch of stuff go on in the stock market. I've been trading for over 5 years, but moves like this really very rarely happen. And I mean, to be honest, I've never really seen a move of this scale on a bigger stock like this, right? I mean, this is the type of price action that you see with penny stocks. So for it to be happening to a big brand name stock like Tesla is absolutely extraordinary, but you have to be careful when things get like this, right? Because I'm not saying there's not a reason for it, but I'm saying there's absolutely reason to be cautious with a move like this. Not that we can't go higher first or that we may finish the year at over $1,000. All these things are possible, but you also have to keep it realistic with how fast can it go up in such a short period of time, right? And I'll talk about all the details of that, and I'll do a technical analysis as well in just a second. But first, going back to the Yahoo Finance page, I just want to go over real quick some of the headlines that we're seeing, right? So it jumped 20% on Panasonic's earnings. That was today, obviously. It got a $7,000 price target for 2024 by ARK Investments. And, these are the type of kind of hype headlines that you're going to see when a stock is moving like this, right? So it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It just is what it is. But I did want to comment on them real quick. Now, definitely recommend watching my stock price prediction video for Tesla. I'll leave a link to the playlist below. And my prediction was very accurate. I called for a breakout above $400 within the next 2 months. I said that we're going to get new all-time high breakouts to at least $420 or $450, potentially even $500. And all those things were reached very accurately. So once again, very accurate prediction based on what? Technical analysis. Quick plug for my course, of course. But that it is what it is, right? When you get new all-time high breakouts, right, which is known as blue sky breakouts because it's a new all-time high above $400, stocks tend to do very well in those times. Now, by very well, I usually mean a move to $420, maybe $450 on the high side, right? Something like this, where you end up, basically doubling in price, is a whole different level of, a blue sky breakout. Now, keep in mind, when you have a blue sky breakout, you don't have any previous resistance levels. So that's something to keep in mind, right? And right now, we haven't faced any resistance at all. We literally flew from $400 all the way to basically $780, literally. Now, why does this move make sense? Because I did want to talk about that as well. It's not just all hype and, fallacies here, right? What we can see is we've been in a consolidation between $180 and $390, and this is something that I talked about in my previous video, for several years, right? Pretty much back in 2014 is when we entered this consolidation pattern, and it continued, well, right up until now. So when you've been consolidating like this for over 5 years, and you get that breakout above the resistance level, undoubtedly you're going to get a strong move. Now, like I said, this is an extremely strong move. I pointed out how we were going to, start pushing higher on the RSI, and that, we actually went up all the way to 90 on the RSI, which is extremely overbought. Now, keep in mind, things can stay overbought for longer than people expect, so you got to be careful. We went parabolic on the MACD, obviously parabolic on the price, and I'll zoom in just a bit here so you can see what we're talking about. But basically, we started to go parabolic, really exponential price action here, a huge amount of buying volume as well, as you can see by these green bars here at the bottom. non-stop, very strong buying volume for days in a row. And actually, I'm on the weekly time frame here, which is actually even a more interesting perspective. I'll leave it on the weekly time frame for now. But basically, on the weekly time frame, this current candlestick pushed us completely above the Bollinger Band. And this is on the weekly time frame, which is extremely rare. When a candlestick gets completely above the Bollinger Band, that's this pink line right here, it is almost guaranteed to fall back below the range of the Bollinger Bands, right? And I also want to point out, we didn't actually test our breakout area of $390. We did test $400, but you know, $450, $500, we actually never came back and tested those breakout levels, which is concerning, right? Usually what you'll see is, if we look back over here, for example, I'll zoom out again, we got our breakout right here, right? But we came back and tested it very shortly thereafter, right? To test and close that breakout gap, and then we could move higher again. So that's something that hasn't been done in this move, and trust me, most of the time it absolutely needs to happen. So I'm not saying that I'm necessarily seeing this coming crashing back down to $390, but you know, at least coming back down to $500 seems absolutely necessary, right, to continue this move higher. So who knows how that's going to happen? Could we continue stretching out higher? Yes, we could go up to $800, $900, $1,000 before really facing resistance. We could also tomorrow fall back down significantly and start moving back to $500 to get that bounce. Or who knows, maybe it'll really need to close that gap at $390 and test this white middle band again. All these things are possible, and basically, if I can make a couple predictions right now for Tesla, it's going to be that, one, I would expect very volatile and very strong price action for at least the next 6 months, if not the entirety of 2020 for Tesla, both to the upside and to the downside. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla, you know, either in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months, test $1,000. That seems like a real possibility. Who knows? We could even see Tesla at $1,200, $1,400. Nothing would surprise me at this point. The move is obviously based on hype to a certain extent, but I think people are realizing that Tesla is more than just a car company. It's really a tech company, and that's why that $65 billion valuation that I've talked about many times is just too low, right? When you compare it to companies like Amazon, for example, that are at a $1 trillion market cap, you know, obviously they're not in the same industry, but these are tech companies, right? Apple, $1.3 trillion market cap. Tesla isn't at that level yet, obviously, and there's a bunch of things that would, you know, normally be wrong with making that comparison. But in this scenario where Tesla was maybe looked at too much by institutions as just a car company, and now they're seeing, wait, they can actually expand into a whole bunch of energy and tech industries. They're seeing that this could be a 200 billion, 500 billion, even $1 trillion company in the future. And that's why we're seeing this big change, right? And obviously no one wants to miss out, so everybody is jumping in right now. That's how it goes. So once again, here I just zoomed in on the daily time frame. We've been overbought for a while here, but this move is typically an exhaustion candle, which means it's a over-exaggerated candlestick higher above the Bollinger Band, and it's kind of that one last big push before the drop, to be honest. That's usually what it is. So typically, you know, we might the next day maybe test $800, and after that it's going to be back down. We've got a lot of gaps to fill here, and you know, one of those bottom gaps that we need to fill is right around $430. So it looks like it's exactly at $430.70. So at the very least, that gap normally should be closed sooner rather than later. And, you know, like I said, I'm kind of calling the exhaustion candlestick here. Not to say that Tesla won't have other huge moves later in the year. I would expect it at this point. But like I said, wild, volatile price action for the next couple months is very likely. And that's really my one biggest prediction that I can make, is that it's going to be bouncing up and down. After something like this, there's going to be consolidation, stuff like that. But the wild moves will continue for Tesla, for better or for worse. And, you know, don't be surprised if we see $1,000 plus this year. Anything is possible. I would, keep my mind open to any possibilities with Tesla, both to the upside and to the downside. But to be honest, yes, I do see a pullback happening, like I said, but also could see it going higher as well. Maybe even making new all-time highs than, an $800 high later this year. So be careful for that gap. Most likely we'll need to go back to $500 or $430 to close those gaps and, close those breakout levels, or even $390, but also upside potential here. Let me know your thoughts on Tesla. I'd be interested to get your opinion. Also, don't forget to check out my full Tesla stock analysis and price prediction for 2020. I think you'll be surprised by the accuracy of my calls, and will give you maybe a better idea of what's more reasonable for maybe Tesla to happen. But it's already kind of broken, the reasonable bound of things with this, crazy move higher. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my technical analysis master course. Link to that in the description. It's less than $20, 30-day money back guarantee. If you want to be able to learn technical analysis and, make calls that are accurate based on not just nothing, based on technical analysis, like I did with Tesla, right? The predictions were very accurate. This course is what you need. It's the ultimate guide to technical analysis, how to spot buying and selling opportunities, how to spot trends, how to read candlesticks, covers everything you need to know, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. You're not going to find something like this for this price. This is as cheap as it gets and as good as it gets. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.